Yes, ma'am. We shall start, ma'am. Hi, good evening. We are delighted to have you all for our live webinar today. I extend a warm welcome to all our attendees from near and afar. We appreciate for taking the time to be here with us. This evening, we have an exciting session planned for you, filled with insightful discussion and valuable information. And also, I thank Dr. Farida Begum, ma'am, MPhil and PhD in education, and a controller of examination from SLET, and also worked as an associate professor of education. Currently, now she is the advisory member and a tiny expert for our DCP 1 year session. So, on behalf of SAIPA II, I welcome you all for this wonderful session. This session is going to be handled by Dr. Farida Begum, ma'am, on the topic of emotional intelligence for developing strong people skill. You're most welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Salam alaikum and warm greetings for a very good, happy, and meaningful evening. In the name of Almighty, the most gracious and the most merciful, let me begin this lecture. Hi, I am Dr. Farida, a professor by profession and now a counseling psychologist. It gives me immense pleasure to connect with you through this platform of SAIPA. I wholeheartedly congratulate SAIPA for its wonderful efforts that are being taken to empower individuals and to develop them into integrated personalities.
Thank you, ma'am.
And hearty welcome to one and all. Thank you. My topic for discussion today is emotional intelligence to develop strong people skills. Before getting into the topic of emotional intelligence, any knowledge that you gain is considered to be the power, and that is the key to success. So knowledge we gain through our experiences. It is said that all our experiences, right from the womb of mother till we go to the tomb, is education. So you cannot classify, we can classify as formal or informal, but whatever experience you gain in your life journey, right from morning till evening every day throughout your life period, is considered to be a kind of education which empowers you, which gives you a knowledge to tread on. And if you, but in today's world, what is happening? Knowledge is being misinterpreted. We consider information to be knowledge. That is, somebody has said, where is the knowledge we have lost in information? Where is the wisdom we have lost in knowledge? Where is the revelation that we have lost in wisdom? Because any knowledge, if it is imbibed by a person, that could be understood only through the behavior. But what sort of behavior we see even in a highly educated person today? That's a big question mark. Whether it behaves really as an educated person. So mere knowledge is not education. Knowledge that should be converted into character. Knowledge that should be projected through your behavior. And knowledge should be taken in the right sense, not knowledge for mere material life. It is for uh, emancipation of the soul. For any education is for emancipation of your soul. That should be the ultimate uh, objective or goal for any education. So that is why I have given this particular slide. So today you are here to gain knowledge regarding one of the very important. Hello? So I'm asked to unmute my video. So here I am. I'm Dr. Farida. So this is what today we are in need of. That kind of knowledge is important, and that is why here we are together. I will learn, I will get experience, I will get knowledge from you people by sharing your ideas. And meanwhile, you will also get some knowledge. But whatever today we are receiving, we should receive it, and we should store it in our memory. We should convert it into our, we should transform it as our behavior. That is very important. So, what is today's scenario? If you see, there is full of chaos, there is full of stress, there is full of tension. You know, our ancestors used to say that work is health, but we now realize that this way of thinking is not so true anymore. These days, society and the workplace put an unparalleled level of pressure on people. Signs of stress are omnipresent in everybody, any age, they are under stress, and its consequences are numerous. The stress that we experience every day is essentially caused by several phenomena that are inherent in today's society. You cannot escape from it. And including among others, you see, we have intensified a workload to increase the productivity gains. There is constant search for perfection. There is obsession with competitions. And you have difficulty in balancing work, personal life, and family life. Very important is major changes in the value system, in the social standards. That again is giving lot of stress. So stress touches all social groups and all age groups. So no one can truly escape out of it. However, some people are more deeply affected by its consequences, depending on their personal, psychosocial, professional, and health background. So what this some people now this negative effect of stress is on the increase, that we have to give special concentration on how to control, how to manage our stress. Otherwise, it will lead to very many other issues. So one after the life is like a system only. When one part of the system is get affected, it will naturally inhibit or it will hamper the work or the health of the other component in the system also. So that is why if one person at home gets sick, the members of the whole family will get affected, like that only. So it is interdependent, it is interrelated system, and so we have to be very careful in dealing with our stress and uh, tensions, everything. Now, because of the inability of our people, we are just, if you open a paper, if you open a newspaper, or if you open a news channel, every day you get news about suicides, you get news about depressions, despair, hopelessness, then you have frustrations and abuse, rejection, everything on the increase nowadays. We have to cope with it. We have to live with it. No other go. We cannot run away from this society. We have to live inside. So what we have to do? We have to keep our own health in a balanced way. How we are going to keep this in a balanced way is a big challenge again. And here, when I open newspapers, this kind of information we get. A clash between two groups of Ambedkar Government Law College students at Chennai. It was happened a few years or months back. Like, see, lawmakers have become the lawbreakers nowadays. We study one thing, we practice another thing. But what I told you in the beginning, whatever we get, whatever knowledge we get, it should be imbibed, it should be converted into, transformed into wisdom, and that should be transformed into revelation. Revelation, how it is happening, that is shown through our behavior. But here only, I mean, people who commit mistakes or highly educated people in responsible position, in responsible posts, they too are committing mistakes or crimes. So here see just two law college people, two group of people are fighting with one another. The boys of one group beat the others, the other group with large wooden bars. Beating was done even after the beaten boy has become unconscious. This is one kind of abuse. Another, a person studying in 10th standard government higher secondary school, he wrote beaten by the principal and he committed suicide. Just for getting those days, what parents used to say, Madam, you just treat him in any way, but I want him to study well. You leave the ice and you just give them whatever punishment you want to give. Uh, we won't ask anything. The only thing we want is my son should be a good boy. He should study well. He should come out of flying colors. But nowadays, the see we now teachers they are not allowed to use any rods or scales or sticks in the classrooms. Instead, when in Tamil they used to say, teacher கையில இருந்து கம்பு வாங்கின பிறகு இப்போ it has gone to policemen. So teacher கிட்ட இருக்க வரைக்கும் less of work for policemen. But when it is taken from the teacher, now more work for the police department. That had happened. So this is what happening. So principal is also not emotionally intelligent to treat the boy. The boy is not emotionally strong. Just for a beating, he had committed suicide. So both is not good. Another other case, there is a fourth year BTech student, IIT. IIT is said to be the topmost university. Only students with a high merit can get into it. But he committed suicide just with the thought that he has cheated our parents. So that again, that the mere thought of some guilt in the person also ends up in committing suicide. The teacher at Municipal Corporation, Delhi, uh, just he made a second standard student in crouching position in hot sun for 2 hours with 7 bricks on her back. That later the baby went to coma stage and died. So a teacher is supposed to be a guide, a philosopher, a friend to the student. But here, in this case, the teacher has become uh, somebody. So this is not she has taken the role of somebody else. The teacher is supposed to counsel the boy, supposed to guide the boy or students and to make them all right. But here, what sort of emotional well-being the teacher is having? That's again a big question. Now, mechanical is all small boys studying in colleges and schools. They go for fight with one another. So much of emotional imbalance we see around. Why such poor coping skills? We fail to reduce the stress also. Because of stress only, all this is happening. So we have poor emotion regulation skills in us. There is lack of symptoms processes. There is absence of routine work. Then very important is poor time management skill, poor boundary setting for us. We don't know which is our boundary. We just say that we don't reach the boundary or we just treat ourselves out of the boundary. So all these things are there and that are the reasons for our poor coping skills. So here in this lesson, all these are because of emotional disturbances or emotional imbalances or emotional weakness or such. So those things we can say. So first of all, you should understand in this topic, I'm going to talk about emotional intelligence. It comprises of two words. One is emotions, other is intelligence. So what are emotions? Emotions, it's a complex psychological state that involves three distinct components. One subjective experience, another one physiological response, and a behavioral or expressive response. So it is experience, then a response. Okay, physiological response and a behavior or expressive response. You're tensed from which part of your uh, self I can understand. I can only understand by your behavior. If you are tensed, if you are angry, you will throw the objects around or you will beat others. So from your behavior, I will understand that you are not in your good moods, you are not in your moods, you are in an angry state. And from that, I can understand. So and why you get angry, there is some physiological stimulation in your body. Your adrenal glands will secrete more, and that is why that sort of secretion, increase of secretion, that may be by a subjective experience. So all these are this is called emotions. There are very many emotions that we have to discuss. And you all know about what are emotions and what are all the type of emotions. We all know it because we have all sort of emotions in us. So emotion, that is emotion means emotion. That is an energy. Motion is movement. E gives you energy. So it means energy movement. And it is our thought that create our emotions. It is our emotions that create our behavior. That is why I said includes a subjective experience, a physiological response, and expressive response. So here you have your thoughts, subjective experience, only you will understand. Then that will create our emotion. You become either joyful or you become either angry or any kind of, depends upon your thoughts. Thoughts from where you get through, you perceive something through your sense organ, and that becomes your thought. Okay. So if you see a person, a friend whom you love very much, then immediately after sensing her, after perceiving her, what sort of thought? Oh, my friend is here. Immediately, what sort of emotion you will get? You will get a joyful experience. So how you will behave? Immediately you go and hug her. So this is your behavior. From your hugging, from your way of welcoming your friend, we could understand that you like her very much or you love her very much, like that. So this is what emotion means. It is an energy movement, and it's our thoughts that create our emotion, and it is our emotions that create our behavior. Now, both body and mind are responsible for this. Let me go in three parts of our mind is there. Body changes, I will discuss afterwards. But three parts of our mind. One is cognitive mind, another is affective mind, another is cognitive mind. And mind is, where is it? If I ask a question, where is your mind? What will be your answer? Anybody? Hello? No sound. No sound. Am I not audible? Am I not audible?
Ma'am, audible, ma'am.
Am I not audible? Somebody has given like no sound, ma'am. Can't mute. Yeah, I'm audible. No. Okay. Say some of the, what question I asked you? Where is the mind? Where is the mind? In the head. Any other answers? What is the shape of your mind? What is the shape? You have a shape for your brain. You have a shape for your heart. Is there a shape for your mind? It's a thought process. Okay. So we could say, some say that it is the software part of your brain. Brain is the hardware part. Like, is it bean shaped? Only your kidney is bean shaped. It's not bean shaped. Okay. Okay. Now, so brain is, your mind has three parts. Let me say it has a thinking part, it has an affective part, and it is a cognitive part. What is this means? I told you, no, here, your thoughts, your emotions, your behavior. Now we'll go to here. Here, this is the thought area. Cognitive area is the thinking area, and your affecting area is your feeling area, and cognitive area is your doing area. Okay. Now, thinking area, what are all there? What sort of thinking? You have knowledge, you get education through experience, and those experiences are converted into knowledge. And this is through, with the knowledge, you reason out things. And by reasoning, you also develop your skills. All this include your IQ. Okay. So this is thinking side, thinking brain, cognitive side. This is feeling brain. Feeling brain is desire, motivation, attitude, preferences, emotions, even values are here. So we call it is, this is the head, this is the heart. Okay. Because many a time we associate our heart with feelings. Whenever Valentine's Day come, they give heart-shaped pictures, balloon or anything. No, you associate your affective domain uh, with heart-shaped figures. So here, heart always we go with the feeling. So conative is doing. Conative is psychomotor, they say. After getting a knowledge, after getting a feeling, we behave in certain way. That is our behavior part. It's a drive. It's an instinct in us. Okay, it is innate force. So this is conative side, this is the hand. So head, heart and hand together we should develop. That is why we say through education, we have to develop the whole person. Whole person in the sense, we have to develop the head, heart and hand of the person. If head alone is given full strength and other parts are left behind, it is like lopsided development of the personality. So integrated development is a must, and we have to give equal attention to all the domains of a personality. And this is very important in the aspect of mind. Next. So emotions, we are discussing about the meaning of emotions. Emotions, it is a Latin word which has come from emo viro. So it is a stir up state or agitate or excite like that. Emotion, as I told you, it is emotion, it's mood or stirred up, state of organism. It is excited state feeling. Okay. Now, that is why many used to say here, Cyrus has said, rule your feelings and don't allow your feelings to rule you. If you make your feelings rule you, you cannot behave as a normal human being all the time. So that is the thing. So that is about emotions. Then let us go with the intelligence. Intelligence is defined as the capacity to acquire and apply knowledge. To acquire and apply, to get in knowledge and how to apply. So whatever if there is an input, there should be an output also in a system. So acquiring knowledge is input and applying it is knowledge. You get ideas, you get everything from your external world, and after processing it, you just apply it in your life. If you don't apply, is there any meaning for your education? Application level is very, very important. No, that is why in the Bloom's taxonomy, it has given the objectives of education like knowledge, understanding, application. So knowledge, they are the lower order skills or lower order skills. There are higher order skills also. After application, they go for analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. So here, this is what said here. Intelligence is defined as the capacity to acquire and apply knowledge, and the aggregate or global capacity of the individual to act purposefully, to think rationally, to deal effectively with this. This is very important. Whoever is an intelligent person, he should have a capacity to act purposefully, to think rationally. Purposefully, for any act, there should be a meaning behind. Why I am behaving like this? And you have to think, man is said to be a rational animal. So we have the capacity, only we have the capacity to think rationally. And after getting ideas, you have to deal with the environment, deal with the external society, with the society, with the environment, both nature and human beings in an effective way. Are we all dealing effectively? Nowadays, wherever we turn, there is only competitions, conflicts. Even animals have such humanly feelings nowadays, but not men. Only during the period of crisis or some flood or some disaster, we can see humanness in people, and not that too not in everybody. Only have a group of people come to help others. I mean, not bothering about their own self. But this is to deal effectively in a constructive way, in a complementing way with the environment. Only those people are said to be intelligent people. So it is acquiring knowledge and also applying knowledge in our life. Next. See how our brain has evolved. That you should understand first. Before getting into this area, we say we are not rational thinkers or rational being. Before you see here, there is one brain. No, if you believe, I mean, those who believe in evolution theory, they will say like that reptilian brain. This is the reptilian brain, which is said to be only instinctive in nature, or we can call it as instinctual brain. And slowly after that, they say no, they say fishes, reptilian, then aves, and then mammals. So like that, that is the higher order creation, evolutionary theory. They classified the living beings like that. So animals like that. So reptilian brain is only this much. This much was the brain capacity. It is only instinctual nature. Next, in the higher order, in the old mammalian, this limbic system have developed. And as evolution increase, when man, this is mammalian cortex or neocortex, we say it is a rational brain. Only in human beings. So, five, I mean, they say, no, only we have the sixth sense and all. Here, ஆறறிவு படிச்சவங்களுக்கு மட்டும்தான் வந்து we have the thinking brain, or we have the rational brain, like that. So this is called the thinking brain or rational brain. Only we human beings are having. So these are the three evolutionary development of brain. Now see this part, color, where there is this color is called the reptilian brain area. And slowly we got the limbic system developed. This limbic system is a feeling brain, we could say. Feeling brain. This is instinctual brain. This is feeling brain. This is thinking brain. This is the neocortex area. And I will show in the next picture about neocortex area. So we have, this is the structure of a human brain. We have all the three. We have instinctual brain. We have emotional brain. We have neocortex. That is the capacity that we are blessed by the Almighty. Okay. Here, this is the neocortex area. You have a frontal lobe, you have a parietal lobe, you have a temporal lobe, occipital lobe, medulla oblongata, cerebellum. This is the external figure. Now, when you get into it, the middle, we have the limbic system, where this is the emotional brain or the feeling brain. And we have the thalamus, we have the fornix, we have the hippocampus, everything. Very important in our today's topic. This is the hero of today's topic, that we call it as the amygdala. Amygdala, which is the seat of all emotions, whether it is positive emotion or negative emotion, this is the seat of origin. So here in the brain, I say that every learning as a emotional base. So here, this is the amygdala, the very important structure responsible for all our emotions. Now, emotions and rational brain. Emotional brain is your amygdala. Rational brain is your neocortex. We feel about the feeling is meta emotions. We have metacognition and meta emotions. Now, the head is said to be responsible for your IQ, that is neocortex. Here they say the heart is responsible for EQ. The next picture, you can understand the types of emotions. In 1972, psychologist Paul Ekman suggested 6 basic emotions. We all know that these are all our emotions. We feel sad, we feel angry, we are happy, we are disgust, we are surprised, we are sadness. Everything is here in the picture. And if you see in a classroom, you can see this set of emotions. Some are very interested in listening, some sleeping, daydreaming, some reading. So they have how much they are interested in the class. You can understand from their facial expression, which in turn, this is the behavior through which you can understand the emotional state of these people. Okay. Now, there is an expanded list of emotions and wheel of emotions. We call this as the wheel of emotions. See, when it is at the rim of the wheel, it is all a lighter side. Okay, it is all in the lighter side. Say, for example, love. When you will get love, you will feel get accepted. There is a trust feeling, there is an admiration. The same time, when you get annoyance, you get angry, and then it converts into rage. When it is in this degree level, it is not dangerous. When it is in the outer range, this range of emotions, so in the outer rim, it is not dangerous for anybody. But when it gets intense, the negative emotions will be dangerous both for the individual and for the fellow beings, those who are around them. If it is positive, again, it is good for everybody, both for the person and the others. So we have to take care of in which range we control our emotions. And for controlling our emotions, our rational brain acts as a policeman. To get angry is good. To get angry is not bad. It's good only. But the degree of anger is a big question mark. And to whom we are getting angry, what is the degree of your anger, how you are expressing your angry, all this is very important. Okay, so this is what about the expanded list of emotions we have. The say angry can be defined or it can be described with the adjectives of annoyance, anger, rage, or like that. If something like dissatisfaction, distraction, surprise, amazement, like this, if you Google it, you can understand in a better way. That is, this is called the wheel of emotions. And what are all the elements of emotion? As I told you already, you have a physiological component, you have a thinking component. Again, you are dealing with the culture. So culture is also responsible for our emotions. Now the next is elements of emotions. In this 3 elements we have. Uh, Again, we call it as primary emotions. Emotions considered to be universal and it is biologically based, and they generally include all this. So these are the primary emotions. Extended emotions only I discuss with the wheel of emotions. Okay, these are the primary emotions. Now, key elements of, again, I told you here it includes body, mind, and culture. And in one of the previous slide, I told it has a subjective element. Just a minute. I had to go back. It has a subjective experience. It has a physiological response and a behavior or expressive response. No, now we are going to deal with that idea. Now, subjective experience, one's own experience of emotions such as angry, sad, or happy may be much more multidimensional as hence subjective. So, Mixed emotions over different events or situation in our lives are common. We get mixed emotions. I told you the we extended emotions, angry, the annoyance, beginning may be annoyance. Do we show the anger in the same way all the time? Sometimes with little angry, sometimes little bit more intense, and sometimes it becomes rage. When it becomes rage, we just throw things, we just break things, we beat others like that. No, this is our subjective experience. Next is there, it has another physiological response. I told you there is a physiological response. See, sometimes if you experience, if you are getting excited, you get goosebumps. If you are getting fear, your heart rate increases. The same time, if you become anxious, you get lot of sweats. Or sometimes, see, everybody might have undergone these experiences. Like we feel before getting into the examination hall, we feel that we have headache, we have vomiting sensation, something happening inside my stomach, or all this reaction leads either we want to enjoy that experience or enjoy that moment, or we want to fly away from the moment. So it leads to fight or flight reaction, we called it. So this is the physiological response, which is depend upon the type of emotions we feel. Okay. Now, again, there are secondary emotions also. Emotions that develop with cognitive maturity and vary across individuals. Because it depends on your culture how to express your emotions. Both love and jealousy, everything. There is a way of when the decorum we say that is we can express our emotions only in certain degrees at certain places, and it differs from culture to culture. As soon as you see, if in Western culture, if they say, see a boy or girl whom they knew, or if they are in love, they just hug and they do all sorts of things. They don't bother about others on the road. But in our Indian, now it is also there in Indian culture, it has become like that only. But we had a culture, even in the rural places, here it is not, even husband and wife, they don't walk hand to hand. That is the thing. So that is the culture. So we know how to express, we learn from our culture how to express our emotions, in which degree we should emote it, and all these things we learn from our culture. So, and it also differs from individual to individual. Everybody is not expressing their emotions in the same way to in the public, or when they are somebody, they are introvert, there are extroverts. So there are certain restriction, individual restriction, there are some cultural restrictions. So we call it as norms, most. You are expected to behave in the society in a particular way. There are norms of the society. We have to follow the norms of the society and norms of the family. All such things are there. So we cannot express our emotions as so we show how to control our emotions, how to express our emotions, how much, in how much degree we should express it. All this counts. So I told about the mind there. So how our thoughts create emotions. There is a two-factor theory here. What is two-factor theory? You should understand. That is, what they say is, imagine that you are alone in a dark parking lot, and you are walking towards your car. And if a strange man suddenly emerges from a nearby row of trees and he is approaching you, he is keeping, I mean, coming in quick steps, and the sequence that follows, that is, according to the two-factor theory, what will be happening when you see a person approaching you? That is, I see a strange man walking towards me, and my heart is racing, and I am trembling, and my rapid heart rate and trembling are caused by the fear. That is, I am frightened to see that man. And I think maybe because of my previous experience, or my experience, or reading from other books or from the news, uh, immediately after seeing a man having mask and covered fully, I may think, I may interpret that he is a thief, or he is coming to kill you, like that. Only that that will be our thought. immediately we'll start trembling, no? So this process begins with the stimulus. Maybe he may not be the same person. He may go simply that way, but the immediate, the appearance of the person may look like that, and we perceive it as he is a thief and he is coming to do something harm to you. And that is our perception, that is our thinking. So the process begins with the stimulus. He is a strange man, and this is followed by physical arousal. Immediately your heartbeat increases and you start trembling. Added to this is the cognitive label, that is associated the physical reaction to fear, and that will be followed by a conscious experience of your emotions. And we say, அப்பா நான் எவ்வளோ பயந்துட்டேன், அந்த ஆள் கடைசியில பேசாம போயிட்டான், அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் சொல்லும் பொழுது, this is called two-factor theory. And this is what for all that our mind is responsible. As soon as you perceive the man, that is a stimulus. First stimulus you get is that figure of the person. So from that, you develop all these things. So this is what two-factor theory says. And next is attributions and emotions. You just attributes, you just attribute some things. Like you give, you give stamps to certain things, and that is a thing, that is attributions. Sometimes if you see a person, you may like him or you may not like him. You attribute some qualities for that person. No, you attribute, you say that he is a good person, he is a loving person, maybe out of your own experiences. But if somebody else is there, whom you do not know, whom you do not have any experience, and you, what sort of attributions will give to the person? Again, imagination. As I told you in the previous story, you see a person, the very figure of the person made you think that he is a thief. You attribute certain qualities. No, if he is covered with the mask and helmet and his face is not seen outside, or he is dressed in that way, so that also counts, and that gives you some emotions. If a person dressed very nicely, very costly, branded shirts and branded shoes with all this, that attributes you, what sort of emotion will get? He comes and he just shake hands with you, what you will feel? So this is what we just gives an certain attribute, that is called attributions, and that also reasons for our emotions. So cognition and emotional complexity is also. So how we cognize, that is important. That is with our previous experience, previous knowledge. Experience may be your own experience or experience from your friends or from reading a book somewhere. So you have a set of ideas in you. You have a set of knowledge in you, and that also leads to emotional complexity. And biological basis. So left part of the brain, they say we have left brain and right brain. You can have two equal halves. See here, if you have a cross section, both the sides of the brain will be same, so you cannot differ. So here also there is we have a central band is here. That is, we call it as, like, we have, it is divided as left brain and right brain. Okay, both are having the same equal parts, but what happens? The left brain has certain potentialities and right brain have different potentialities. Each part of the brain has certain functionalities, but both brain differs in their functions. Left brain is responsible for your emotions. Right part of the brain, certain other emotions, they say. Say anterior part of the brain is responsible for your pleasant and unpleasant experiences. Posterior part of the brain is responsible for the intensity of your emotions. Okay, the pleasantness or unpleasantness, your anterior part of the brain. Your posterior part of the brain is for the intensity. I said, no, the wheel of emotions, when it is, it may be just annoyance, or it may be converted into angry. So that for that, your posterior part of the brain is responsible. And you have a decision-making part, and that is your frontal lobe. Frontal lobe is responsible for your decision-making. So if it is pleasant, you in the posterior part, the intensity is decided, and you decide based on that. For that, your anterior, sorry, your frontal lobe is responsible. The whole brain is involved in deciding about your behavior. So thoughts and emotions are united. You cannot separate. What you feel, that is converted into thoughts. What thoughts you get, that is converted into emotions. Both thoughts and emotions together is exhibited through your behavior. So that is why I said it is cognitive, and affective. Three parts are involved in your emotional expressions. Decision making, say whether it is to stop with annoyance or whether to convert it into an angry state, that decision is made with the frontal lobe. Okay, so whole brain is involved in your emotional expressions or emotional behavior. So thoughts and emotions are united. You cannot separate it. That is one thing you should. And there is also a chemistry of emotions where we have certain stress hormones. So whenever you get agitated, whenever you get excited, or whenever you are uh, anxious, there are certain hormones responsible for it. Might have heard about happy hormones that secretes in your brain. There are stress hormones, that is adrenaline and cortisol are responsible for your stress. And there is dehydroepiandrosterone, that it enhances your immune, and we call it antidepressant. If people are suffering from depression, there is deficiency of DHEA, so we are given antidepressant. So this is all a chemistry of the emotion. So there is physiological side, there is chemical side, there is so it is an integrated operation only. You cannot you cannot study separately. The whole, I mean, that is what I say. No, in ancient days, everything is given as a system, where system is the whole. Now we are studying part by part. The failure where we fail is we fail to synthesize the parts. Part by part learning is good. But after learning it part by part, after mastering it, we fail to synthesize the idea. We analyze. பகுத்தறிந்து படிக்கிறோம்னு சொல்றாங்கல்ல, பகுத்து அறியலாம். For want of easiness, we can study. But after analyzing, you have to synthesize, no? What is the center core idea? We are away from the core of our human life. That is why so much of calamity, so much of conflict, so much of harassments, and all evils around us. Because the very purpose of education, the very purpose of giving knowledge is to enhance your soul. It is to attain mukti. In Hindu literature, we say that it is to attain mukti, salvation, to gain salvation, to attain jannah. That is our purpose of learning. That is the purpose of knowledge. So where we are going now, how we are behaving to others, how we are becoming very self-centered. Why such calamities? Why we are not very humane in our nature? We are becoming animals-like. We are becoming slave to machines. Machines are our own product, for our own inventions, our own discoveries. But we become slave to all those things. So this is what this emotions, that is why emotions are very, very important. And they say, if you want to get success in your life, your intelligence work only 20%, but your emotions must work 80%. Only then you can get a successful life. But where we go, we give 80% attention to our knowledge area, not even 20% to our emotion side, and that after getting so much of after doing so much of hard work, after getting a doctoral degree, after getting admission IIT, all these things, we commit suicide. What is the purpose then? If you are emotionally strong, even if you don't reach IIT, even if you are studying in an ordinary engineering college, you will be happy. You will be, your life will be purposeful, meaningful. So that is what, if you're a person who wants success in life, must be emotionally strong, emotionally balanced. A balanced emotion is must, rather than a high IQ. Normal IQ, average intelligence is enough. But apart from that, apart from this IQ and EQ, what is more needed is we need a special spiritual quotient also. Only then there will be a peaceful end for our life. What is said in Quran, what is said in Bible, what is said in the Hindu scriptures is the same. That is, we have to reach Jannah. How to reach Jannah? What should be our qualities? So this is, so there is a chemistry, there is a biological base, a chemical base, a physiological base for our emotions. Now, little bit about the amygdala part, which is very important for our emotional intelligence. This is amygdala. This is an almond-shaped set of neurons located deep in the brain's medial temporal lobe. Okay, shown to play a key role in the processing of emotions. The amygdala forms part of the limbic system. I told you all this. I explained it. This is the temporal area where you receive. Temporal is your sound. You get knowledge through your sense organs. No, you see, you gain knowledge. You hear, you gain knowledge. You feel, you touch, you gain knowledge. So you get knowledge, you smell, you gain knowledge. So all these things, all your sense organs are said to be the gateways of your knowledge. And that is why we have to keep our sense organs in a very perfect way. And nowadays, they advise us to do yoga or exercises. And for us, the 5-time namas, if you do, that is a big exercise for all our organs. And we just go for sujud, where our frontal lobe get activated. This part is responsible for taking good decisions, to solve all the problems that, so this get activated every time when go to sujud. Even in all religion, they just bend forward, they bow down, they keep their forehead on floor and worship their God. That is the reason. So this is our frontal lobe. Here it is the amygdala that is responsible for your emotions, and that is in the limbic system. I told you, no, this is the reptilian brain, this is the old mammalian brain, and this is the new mammalian brain. So here in the limbic system, you have the amygdala, which is responsible for all of this is the feeling brain, I could say, the feeling brain. Amygdala is the integrative center for emotions, emotional behavior, and motivation. Amygdala receives inputs from all the senses as well as visceral inputs. Okay, visceral inputs from your body. You get inputs from your internal organs also. Then stimulation of the amygdala causes intense emotion such as aggression or fear also. So how far this is being stimulated is responsible for your intensity of your emotions. Got it? You need a break? You need a break? After amygdala, I'll give you a break where we'll start with the emotional intelligence. No, okay. The amygdala combines many different sensory inputs. Like the hippocampus, it combines external and internal stimuli. Hippocampus, this area is, okay, hippocampus here, no, this combines the internal and external stimuli. Every sensory modality has input. I told you, we get input through our sense organ. For a computer, as we have the keyboard, for our brain, we have the sensory organs as the keyboard. Okay, these are integrated with somatosensory and visceral inputs. Our organs are connected with our visceral inputs. This is where you get our gut reaction. We sometimes we say no, that is why it will feel like vomiting, you feel like headache. Whenever you feel anxious or angry, some internal changes are there. Your body parts also involved in it. It is integrated with your sensory stimulus. So the link between the prefrontal cortex, septal area, hypothalamus, amygdala gives us our gut feeling. Appadan solvanga, you should not decide with your head. You should decide with your gut feeling. Don't go with your head feeling, go with the gut feeling. In certain places, go with your head feeling, don't go with your gut feeling. We should know where to behave in which way. Those subjective feelings about what is good and what is bad. So it is also where memory and emotions are combined. When the reward is see, I told good and bad. No, if something good you have experienced already, that is stored in the memory. So as soon as you see the person or smell the food, you are from the memory you get, and immediately you get an emotion, or you get a joyful emotion when you see a person whom you like. When you see a person whom you fear, you get fear emotions. So memory and emotions are always combined. When the reward is sweet, that behavior and association may last a lifetime. Likewise, the trauma and humiliation of punishment may be remembered for a long time. Both. Sometimes that may become a nightmare also, no? So the memory and emotions are always combined. There may be sometimes we have a emotional hijack. We call it as amygdala hijack or emotional hijack. The amygdala hijack is an immediate, overwhelming emotional response with the later realization that the response was inappropriately strong given the trigger. I'll explain to you what it is. Okay. See, there is a story for you. Next slide. Slide is gone. See, you see a snake here. Immediately you say your sense organ, this is the keyboard. Through the keyboard, you get the input here. You saw a snake. What you will do? You will like to run away from the snake for fear of life. No, survival instinct is our basic instinct. So we want to escape from the place for want of survival. Immediately there will be an increase of heartbeat. No, you will. That is the way that is the way we will behave at the first sight of a snake. But after going to a distance where it is not dangerous now, I am away from the snake. If you get the feeling, you will turn and immediately your brain will think, why I should not leave the snake like that. It will kill somebody else. It will bite somebody else who is coming. So I have to do something. Either you may get a call, put a call to somebody for help, or you yourself will bring a stick and you try to kill it or to chase it. Something you will do. No, this is immediate effect, immediate hijack. Immediate adrenal will secrete a lot of hormones. You will become anxious. You will get you fear also for life only, survival instinct. So you will run away from the place. And after reaching certain distance, after knowing that there is no danger anymore from the snake, your brain will start to think in a way where you can remove the snake from the site or what you can do otherwise. So this is called the emotional hijack. Okay. When the building catches a fire, this is simply for a joke, it is said. In India, what we'll do, even if there is flood, even if it is fire, what we will do, they say, is we will wait for the official orders to go and help. But in Western countries, when the building catches fire, workers from other country embassies, they just jump out to help. But in India, we will wait till the orders we receive from the official. But you, as human beings, what we should do is, first thing, there should be emotional hijack or amygdala hijack. You should just jump for help for others. That is the first thing we have to do. And that is for some, this is a pictorial representation where says that it has to take two roads. One is a low road, another one is a high road. When the person meets or encounters a danger, the amygdala takes two roads. The sense organ senses the danger and it reaches the thalamus. From there, it will go to amygdala. Either it go to amygdala or it will take a longer road, and then again also it will reaches the amygdala. It is said information about emotional stimuli reaches the amygdala via a direct pathway from the thalamus, as well as by a pathway from the thalamus to the cortex. Why high road? Only when you take to the cortex, பகுத்தறிந்து சிந்திக்கிற இடத்துக்கு போன பிறகு, when you know when you can analyze the thing, when you can understand clearly, you get a clarity over the situation. Then here you have to go to the cortex area. This is the thalamus area. First thing we go to the feeling brain only, and then we go to the thinking brain. That is what said here. We take a high road to the amygdala. The quick unconscious route elicits an automatic reaction around the 50th of the second after the sound enters your ear. The longer, slower route via the cortex takes 5th of the second. This is how long it takes before you are consciously aware of what made you jump. This is what about amygdala hijack or emotional hijack. Okay. Now, I told you there is thinking, there is chemical response, and there is behavior response. Okay. How we respond to the emotions. And here comes our emotional intelligence, actual expressions of emotions. You know, you get the intensity is there, different emotions are there, your brain is responsible, all these things we learned so far. But actual expressions of emotions, and lot of time is spent on interpreting the emotional expressions of people around us. Usually we say no, how a person behave in a group. After that, we'll discuss. That is not good for the person to talk like that. Even we judge people from the tone of their voice, from the gestures they show. So all this reflects their behavior. So actual expressions of emotions, and we spend a lot of time in spending on interpreting the emotional expressions of the people around us. So this stage is one that is tied to the concept emotional intelligence. Here you have to be very careful. Here we have to develop, this is what we call it as people skill. Okay, where you can develop people skill. This is very important. As I told you, this is 80% responsible for your success. Emotional intelligence is 80% responsible for your success, be it in your family, be it in your marital life, be it in your career, everywhere. If you are an emotionally intelligent person, then you can have success in your life. This concept was put forth by Daniel Goleman. The capacity for recognizing what is emotional intelligence. It is our capacity to understand our own feelings and the feelings of others. It is for motivating ourselves and for managing the emotions well in ourselves and in our relationship. Because emotions are responsible for building our relationship or for breaking our relationship. So if you cannot live alone, you are a social animal by birth, you are gregarious in nature, you need to establish relationship. You can lead a life, successful life or meaningful life only through your relationship with other people. So here, if you want to manage the relationship, you have to be emotionally intelligent person. It is very important to understand that emotional intelligence is not the opposite of intelligence. It is not a triumph of heart over it. It is unique intersection of both. Sometimes we say, I am very knowledgeable, I am very intelligent, I know everything, I have so much of degrees in with me, but that is not going to be of any use in your life. What is needed, it is even your, only when you are emotionally intelligent, when it is combined with your emotions, you will have a happy and peaceful life. So emotions, no. Here you say this side is knowledge and this you take as emotions. And if one goes like this, you cannot lead a balanced life. If emotions are very high and you don't have knowledge enough that is needed for your life or your career, anything, this is not good. This both. If you want to have a peaceful, balanced life, you have to give due care both for your emotions and for your knowledge side. Okay, not your degree, not alone your emotions will give you a peaceful life. There should be a balance in your emotions and cognitions. This is the linkage. As I told you already, you need 80% EQ and 20% IQ. I will put, if I draw the pie graph, I will draw a big part for spiritual intelligence also. That is very important. So if this is 20, I give 40 marks for spiritual intelligence and the rest for your EQ. Okay. So EI, it is an affective side. As I told you, we categorize the mind into three parts now: cognitive, affective, and cognitive. And EI is in the thinking brain, we call it. This is the affective side and this is the cognitive side. This affective brain can be developed at any age, at any point of your life, but cognition, IQ, only up to certain stage. After that, whatever you get is knowledge one. It is not, it does not, it is not to do anything with your IQ. And human beings, this is human doings, they say. It makes you a human being. Humane being, I could say. If there is EI, emotionally intelligent, you will be a humane person, human person or humane individual. Now, Daniel Coleman says you should know your own emotions. You should manage after knowing your emotions. If you are a very, if you get angry very much, then you have to manage it. You have to know the ways to control your anger. Then motivating yourself, recognizing and understanding the other people's emotions also. For this, it is called as empathy. You have to understand the feeling of others, why the reasons for why they behave like this or why they get angry, all these things. You should get, that is called empathy. Then managing relationship, that is managing the emotions of others. Here it is a pictorial representation of the, this is only for the measurement purpose. After this, you can evaluate your own emotional intelligence also. See, self-awareness, it is awareness about accurate self-assessment. Self-awareness is the first step for your emotional intelligence. நீ உன்னை அறிந்தால் நீ உன்னை அறிந்தால் இந்த உலகத்தில் போராடலாம், நிலை தாழ்ந்தாலும் உயர்ந்தாலும் நிலை தாழ்ந்தாலும் உயர்ந்தாலும் நீ வாழலாம். One song is there, no? So that is the thing. You should understand, first step of any knowledge is self-awareness. Only when you have proper self-concept, you will, when self-awareness leads to self-concept. So to get awareness, you should understand yourself. After understanding, you should accept yourself. See, I am not fair. My complexion is very dark. I am not intelligent. I cannot sing like her. Don't compare anything by anybody. Each one is unique. Each individual is unique. Each person is having their own potentials. You need not worry about what is not in you. Just count the blessings. You just take care of the blessings in you and you try to develop it. So you understand your strength, you understand your weakness, and through that you try to strengthen your strength and you do something to dealing with your weaknesses. Okay, this is the self-awareness side. Only all those things you can do when you have a clear self-concept. Okay, then it goes. After understanding yourself, you have to manage yourself. You understand your emotions. I am a person who gets angry often. I'm a person, I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I always enjoy the company of my friends, all these things. So after that, if you have positive emotions, leave it, or you want to strengthen it, to strengthen it. If you have negative emotions, emotional instability, then you try to control it. Okay, there should be transparency. There should be adaptability, because adaptability, it is a very needed quality in today's context. If you don't adapt to, because you are living in a fast changing society, fast developing society, very many avenues are being opened. Every day there is technological outbursts. So you should know how to adapt yourself to that particular changing situation. That is why I said, no, survival of the fittest, struggle for existence, and adaptation to the ever-changing environment are the three cardinal principles for a happy living. So adaptability is very, very important. Then you should have achievement drive also. After understanding yourself, you try to manage yourself, and yourself is here. From self, you have to go with the social awareness, because you live in a society where you move with people. You have to, there is connections. We call it as connections. Without connections, we cannot live. Whether it is connections with other gadgets, or with human beings, that is very important nowadays. Social awareness. I told you, no, empathy, organizational awareness, there should be a service orientation. Then next, self-management leads to relationship management. Influencing one another, change, you work as a catalyst to bring changes in others. You just try to build bonds with others. That is why now we are living in a corporate society where teamwork and collaboration is given due importance. So all those things you can develop when you can manage your emotions in the same way you can manage the emotions of others. So you might have heard of Johari windows concept, no, self-awareness. To to understand yourself, we should have this idea. That is, Johari has given, when his concept was, he built a house with four windows, like so, four windows. One is for one window is for ourselves, that both we and others can see into it, and one window contains aspects that others see, but we are not aware of them. And the third window is the unconscious part of us that neither we ourselves nor others see. And the third window is the private space we know but hide from others. Okay. In summary, what happens? The Johari window, it can be valuable. It's an valuable tool for leadership and team development. It helps to increase our self-awareness, improve communication and relationship, and facilitate personal, and it also helps us to grow in our teamwork. Okay. So this is what these three areas. One is the public area, where we know we ourselves, it is known to others also, and it is known to you also. And there is another window, it's a blind spot. We don't know, but others will know about us. And there is another part which is hidden for both of us. Others also cannot know, and we also don't know. There is my unconscious self. Only we know, others don't know, because we hide that self. These hidden wishes, hidden feelings, all those things are here. It is in our unconscious brain. So he has developed this Johari window concept to make people understand what sort of personality they are. And he has developed certain adjectives, say extroverted, friendly, giving, happy, helpful. And there are also some negative qualities are given here, very nervous, or very quiet, very proud, powerful, like that. This set of questionnaire will be given to all the members present there in a group of people, no, to understand. And they will be asked to write which quality fits in here, which quality for her fits in here. So if suppose if you're asking to put a rank for me, after moving with me, after few days of our relationship, you will identify what sort of person I am. And then if I give a question to fill this particular windows with these adjectives, you will put certain things. No? For example, let me go with the positive side. My public self, I am a kind person, and I also know that I am very kind to others. So like that, I am very nervous. Others cannot understand my nervousness, but I only can understand it. Because what is going inside me, only I can understand. So that is that kind of issues only. So with that, we can develop a better awareness about our own self. So this self-awareness plays a critical role in how we understand ourselves and how we relate to others in the world. Being self-aware allows you to evaluate yourself in relation to others, not yourself alone, but yourself in relation to others. Okay. Now, self-awareness leads to self-concept. I said no, that is, you must develop a self-concept. This is the three-tier or process, where first thing goes with your awareness and understanding yourself. Awareness is understanding. Second is accepting yourself. Acceptance is very, very important. I am of this sort. Only my height is this much. I cannot grow further. So like that, you should understand you after understanding yourself, your strength, your weakness. The second thing is you should accept it. You cannot change what is there in your gene. No, you cannot become Aishwarya Rai. What is our gene? We will be like that one day. So accept it. So then you will develop self-worth. And then through your self-awareness and through your self-acceptance, you can understand, you can develop an ideal self also. Okay. And that is the self-concept, I say. See, here there is an old lady. Though she is old, she just imagine herself as a young lady, or she thinks of her youth period, adolescent period or something. And this is how you see yourself. That is very important. And how you value yourself, the work, your strength, your weakness, everything. After understanding everything, you just say to yourself, I am important. I am a worthy person. Nobody can replace me. That should be there in your mind. That is self-worth and who you want to be. Sometimes that, see, if you imagine yourself as a ghost, same thing you will be. If you imagine yourself as a king, you will walk like a king. You will just imitate like a king. So this is what your ideal self. So here the self-awareness plays a very, very important role in your emotional intelligence. Second, see, what matters most is how you see yourself. Now, self-awareness, you will start walking. I told you, no, when you think you're a king, you will walk your thing, you carry yourself like what you see in the mirror to be. If you think you are a winner, then you will be motivated further to win in your endeavors. So everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will spend its whole life believing that it's a stupid. No, but that is what our examination pattern is nowadays, because we don't have a special, separate yardstick to measure the people. Yeah, whether it is in the school or in the college or nothing is tailor-made. We follow a common yardstick to measure the ability or the intelligence or anything like that, but that's not good. Fish has the capacity only to swim. It cannot climb. Only monkey can climb. You cannot measure a monkey by swimming. So this is what, if you think, oh, the monkey is climbing, I cannot climb like that. If I feel, then I'll be a stupid always. I have to count my own strength, count your blessings. You walk in that road. That is what Albert Einstein says. Don't be a stupid always by comparing yourself with others' potentials. You have your own potentials, count it and try to develop. Here, next comes the self-confidence. Just listen to this story. You might have heard already.
A deer was pregnant and she was having labor pains. It was the forest was covered with black clouds. Due to the black clouds, lightning had fallen in the forest, and the forest had caught fire. The deer had to leave her house due to forest fire. She came to a riverside to give birth to her children and drink some water. She saw her face in the river. Anxiety was visible on her face because her house was on fire and she had to give birth to her children. Just as she was going to drink water, she heard noise of some movement in the bushes on her left side. She looked to her left with squint eyes. She saw that behind the bushes a hunter was aiming at her with an arrow. The deer was already very nervous and was now even more afraid when she saw the hunter. The deer thought in her mind to run away from there. As she turned to run away to her right side, she saw that a ferocious lion was hiding in the bushes in her right side, and he was ready to attack her. The deer looked all around. There was hunter on one side, the lion on the other side, the forest fire on the third side, and the deep river on the fourth side. She could not cross the river because the river was very deep and full of crocodiles. Death was all around her. There was no way to escape. The deer thought hard to save her life, but there was no way out. Then the deer thought to herself that her death is certain, so why be afraid? Why not to die with dignity? The deer calmed down. She started drinking water fearlessly and started hoping for the best. Seeing her drinking water, the hunter drew his arrow, and as he was about to release his arrow, there was a strong lightning sound in the sky. The hunter's hands trembled due to strong lightning, and he missed his target. His arrow hit the lion. The lion got injured, and his eyes fell on the hunter. The lion attacked the hunter and started running toward him. The hunter started running to save his life, and lion started following him. With the lightning, it started raining heavily, and the forest fire was extinguished. After drinking water, as soon as the deer raised its mouth, she saw that there is neither a hunter nor a lion, and the forest fire has also been extinguished. The deer did not waste any time and ran away from there. She went to a safe place and gave birth to three children. If we see in our lives, then we will find that there are times in our life when we are surrounded by difficulties from all the sides and we don't see any way out. But one should not lose courage in such times. No matter how much problem come in your life, never be afraid of it. Instead, face problem openly and think positively. Because once you face problems with courage and think positively, then you have hope. And once you have hope, anything is possible.
So this is that is once we can encounter in our life very many problems. We have to face it with hope and faith in God. Hope first that should come from within you, faith again on the creator. That is very, very important. That counts for your spiritual intelligence. So in our life, it's our moment of choice. And we all have to deal with such negative thoughts from all sides. Some thoughts are so powerful, they overpower us and make us clueless. Let us not decide anything in a hurry. Let's think ourselves as a pregnant deer with the ultimate happy ending. Anything can happen in a moment in this life. You be confident and have hope and faith. Hope on you and faith in God. So that is what about self-confidence. Then you should have regulation. I told you, no, nowadays, in the first slide itself, I told you the reason for stress is we don't know how to manage our time. So self-regulation is very, very important, and it can be defined in various ways. In the most basic sense, it involves controlling one's behavior. That is what regulation is. We should know how to control our behavior, emotions, and thoughts in the pursuit of the long-term goals. How to establish, how to strengthen our relationship like that. More specifically, emotional self-regulation refers to the ability to manage the disruptive emotions and impulses. What are the type of regulations? There are three types of regulations. One is that is with the emotions. Another one is with the cognition. Another one is social. What is emotional self-control? Is mainly in our ability to calm down in the face of anger and frustration. In the later classes, we can deal with topics like anger management, time management, all those things. Okay, cognitive self-regulation. It is boils down our problem solving abilities. That is thinking side. You have to be very analytical, rational in your thinking. Okay, rational thinking is very, very important. And social self-control, meaning our capacity to refrain from just saying whatever pops into our mind. We should know யாகாவராயினும் நாகாக்க காவாக்க சோகாக்க சொல்லிழுக்கப்பட்டுன்னு சொல்லுவாங்கல்ல. அதே மாதிரி தான் நீங்க என்னத்துக்கு காவல் காக்குறீங்களோ இல்லையோ உங்க நாக்கு, you have to control your tongue. You cannot say whatever comes to your mouth. You have to control, and you should know, you must be very conscious about what you speak. You should be conscious about the tone of your voice, the gestures you say while when scolding, gestures you show while talking to others. All these things counts a lot in your communication. So this is social self-control. So this comes under your self-regulations. Now, after that, it is self-management. Hope you have studied a story of Genghis Khan and his hawk. Here, self-management, a minute of anger will put you in years of sorrow. That is the moral of this story. Nothing in this special, but one thing, there was a king named Genghis Khan, and he was having a hawk. He used to take that hawk while he was going for hunting, and whenever he goes for hunting, the hawk will show the directions for the king, and it will help him to identify animals. And that way, when one day he was going alone with the hawk, he felt very thirsty. So he wanted to drink water from water. And a stream was there in the dense forest. And there was not much water. Only water was dripping, maybe dry season. And what the king did, he just opened a pitch and he took a cup. He wanted to fill the cup from the spring, and he just filled it. And when he was about to drink the water, this hawk came flying and just hit the cup, and the cup fell down. He got angry because he was thirsty that much. And again, he took the cup, he filled it, but this time he just filled only half of the cup. And he wanted to drink the water. The same thing happened. It came from somewhere, then hit the cup, it fell down. He got wild. And he just took a sword and threw on the hawk. The hawk died. That is a spark of a moment only, a minute of anger only, because his thirst made him to act like that. And after that, he felt very sorry. Slowly, he climbed a mountain. And that time also, he was very thirsty to drink water from the pool that is above there. And only after reaching the pool, he understood that there was a dead snake in the pool. And this hawk just tried to help the king to save him. So after that, he felt very much for the bird and he could not forget it. And lifelong, that was a sorrow for him. So a minute of anger has given a lifelong the sorrow for the king. This is what the story tells about, something like that. So always respond. That is what the reaction we should do. We should respond. We should not react to the emotions. Self-management. Here again, one nice story, one happy story for managing ourselves, to keep ourselves away from the negative people who gives us negativity, how to keep that. So we used to say, no, we should not throw stone on the ditch. It will just come to us like that. Keep away from the negative people. The story goes like this. One elephant which took bath in a river and was walking on the road. When it neared the bridge, it saw a dirty pig, and that was coming from that was fully soaked, coming from a ditch there. The elephant quietly moved to one side, allowed the dirty pig to pass on, and it continued its journey. And the unclean pig later spoke to its friend in arrogance. See how big I am. Even the elephant was afraid of me and moved to one side and let me pass. On hearing this, some elephants questioned their friend the reason for the action. Was it out of fear? They asked. No, the elephants just smiled and replied, I could have easily crushed the pig under my leg, but I was clean and the pig was very dirty. By crushing this pig, my leg would get dirty and I wanted to avoid it. Hence, I moved aside. What is the realization here is, realized souls will avoid contact with negative people, not out of fear, but out of desire to keep away with the impurity, though they are strong enough to destroy the impurity. You need not react to every opinion, every comment, that every situation that you come across in your life. At certain point of time, you can just go aside. You can move away from the negative people to keep yourself, your dignity, your peace of mind. For that, you have to keep yourself away from this impurities. Okay, this is what the story tells. So here, this is also a way of self-management. And that is also a way of self-management to control your anger. You need not react to every opinion, every comment, or every situation. So social awareness is, I told you, that is empathy, understanding others from their point of view, not from your point of view. You have to put yourself in their shoes. Only then you can know the pain of its bite. So I feel now the truth of those words, which I never understood before. It's more blessed to give than to receive. This is what empathy, that is learning to accept each other's faults and choosing to celebrate each other's differences is one of the most important keys to creating a healthy, growing, and lasting relation. Accept people with difference. Accept people by understanding the differences. That is very important. Now, empathy, I told you, here you saw a figure of a man and a figure of a lady, the man helping the lady to climb up. But in between, there is a snake, and on the top of the man, there is a big stone. The thing is, the man cannot see the snake, the woman cannot see the stone on the back of the person. Both are misunderstanding each other. This fellow is thinking, why she is not trying to come up? I am struggling so much with a big stone on my back. Why she could have tried little bit and come up? No, like that. This person is thinking. Here she is thinking, oh, here is a snake. If I climb up, this will bite me and I will die. Why this man is not pulling me with little more strength? So this is what the moral is. You cannot see the pressure the other person is having. The other person can't see the pain you are having. This is life. Whether it is with work or it is in the family or your feelings or friends, we should not try to underestimate each other, learn to think differently, perhaps more clearly, and life will be very easy. Each one has their own problems. And with their problems, when they are coming to help you, accept it. Don't criticize them or don't judge them. This is what, accepting everything without any prejudgment or misjudgment. That is mindfulness, we say. So you have to be mindful in your relationship. The next is, I told you about adaptability. It is a reverse of alpha or numeric numeric numbers you can read. Here, what is this? A basic task here is the effects of the effect occurs when there is a mismatch between the name of the color. Say here, orange, the orange is written in red color, red is written in green color. And if I ask you to read, but I ask you to read the color of the letter, not the word, but color of the word I am asking you to read. What you will read? Just read, try and try for it. Immediately what you will read? You will read as red, but you ought to read it as blue. Okay, so this is what reversal. So here, and the color it is printed, the word red is printed in blue. When asked to name the color of the word, it takes longer and it is more prone to errors when the color of the ink does not match with the name of the color. But with practice, you can read it. But when I ask you for the first time or for the second time, maybe for 4-5 practice sessions, you can read it properly. But at first instance, that is what you will find it very difficult. This is called, so any change, when there is changes in your life, you will find it very difficult to accommodate to those changes. But slowly you can adapt to the changes and you will accommodate with the changes. That is very needed quality in the current situation. And Aristotle has said, anyone can become angry, that is easy, but to be angry with the right person, to the right degree, at the right time, for the right purpose, and in the right way, this is not easy. This is what said, this is what, in a nutshell, this is how, in a nutshell, you can define emotional intelligence. You have every right to get angry. You have every right to get angry, but what is more important as an emotionally intelligent person is whether you are getting angry with the right person, whether you are emoting it in the right degree, and that too in the right time, and whether you are getting angry for the right purpose, in the right way. This counts your emotional intelligence. Now you can fill this form and find out your own emotional intelligence. There are 5 statements, ideas given. I laugh. I laugh very often. I laugh often. Sometimes I laugh rarely and never. Just fill it up. You find out whether you are a person who is happy-go-lucky person, and I always I be happy. I laugh or I smile or like that something. Okay. If it is never, then you are not an emotionally intelligent. You get angry often, you are not emotionally intelligent. You make mistake, you are a nervous person, anxious person, not emotionally intelligent. You forget things, then that is again memory and emotions, they work together. No, I told you. So you forget things, you are not emotional. You change your mind, you are an adaptable person, you are emotionally intelligent. You really enjoy yourself very often, then you are an emotionally intelligent. Like that, you can survey, you can do your own survey in your own group or family or in classroom, wherever. Now, Krishnamurti is a philosopher and an educational, said, educate the whole person. That is, I told you, whole person is an integrated development of all the domains of your brain. You have to develop your cognition, connection, and your affective side. Educating the person as a whole, not as an assemblage of parts. Educate the person within the whole, as a part of the society. You are part of the society, you are part of the family, you are part of the humanity, you are part of the nature. You cannot lead a life without nature, without the environment. You are interdependent, you are interacting element, you are interdependent, interacting, interrelated elements, all these things are. So you cannot give education for the person alone. If you are educating, you educate the whole person, not only for himself, but for the society and for the environment. That is the idea about of Krishnamurti. Now I told you about body, mind. Gandhiji said, no, what is education? It is the all-round development of the body, mind, and spirit. Okay, that is the idea about education by Gandhi. So it is spirit, it dwells here in the mind, and you have your brain, you have your body. So this is what about. So one special concept I told you, that is about spiritual intelligence. It is the higher dimension of intelligence. You all know that activates the qualities and capabilities of the authentic self in the form of wisdom, compassion, integrity, joy, love, creativity, peace. So spiritual intelligence results in a sense, if we I want to say it in a nutshell, it is nothing but understanding that God has created us, and he has created he has given equal importance to nature, to all the other living beings also. He created everything for the sake of the man. He created everything and he asked man to go and rule over it. And ruling is in a eco-friendly way, in a humanly friendly way, not away from nature. So we are doing disasters. The reason for all the natural disaster is our own ignorance. No. So spiritual intelligence is understanding the beauty of creation. It's a deeper meaning and purpose combined with the improvement of in a wide range of important life skills and work skills. That is called spiritual intelligence. So here spiritual intelligence is P is equal to IQ plus E. Like the P is the presence. Presence, what is P? Presence. What is presence? That you should understand if you want to be a spiritually strong person. It is nothing but being aware of your immediate surroundings with greater clarity than usual. This is that's only one of the results of presence. Being inside, you just be silent for some time. Keep yourself silent and think about the creation. Think about their dependency. Think about your dependency on it, and the dependency of nature on human being. All these things you just sit calmly, quietly, give a time of silence to you, and you just think about the creation, the beauty of it. You will understand this particular concept. That is, presence is the shift from the object pole of attention to the subject pole of attention. We are always concentrating on material aspect of our life, and we are not concentrating on the soul purification or subject pole of attention, which results in the corresponding shift from, if you shift yourself from ego to soul, then shifting is possible from the object pole to subject pole. That is shift from ego to soul. When you shift to the subject pole of attention by identifying with feeling awareness instead of identifying with your body and mind, I am talking about your feeling brain, not about thinking brain or your body. Okay. So there is greater clarity about everything at the object pole of attention, including your immediate surroundings. However, the essential nature of presence is the shift from ego to soul. The greater clarity of mind is one of the results. Then you get spiritually stronger. So here, when you are spiritually stronger, there is decrease of stress and increase of happiness. It strengthens your mind and body connection, build trust with yourself, release the toxic burden of stuck emotions, and is restored energy, increases emotional awareness and intelligence, and it feels more present, alive, and calm. So, as a powerful combination, the three principal dimensions of intelligence are three Qs. It represents IQ, EQ, and SQ. Studies in neuroscience confirm that spiritual intelligence is correlated with hemispheric synchronization and whole brain activation. Consequently, coaching the three Q trains the whole brain. The result, I told you, Krishnamurti said, you have to educate a person as a whole, not as part. That is what said here. If it is the result is a greater fulfillment, increase creativity, sharpen your intuition. If you are spiritually strong, you will become highly creative. Your intuition will be sharpened and you will be more empathetic, more compassion. Your performance will be improved and there will be wide variety of work skills and life skills. This is what whole brain concept. You don't concentrate on your IQ. You don't concentrate only on your IQ. Concentrate on synchronization of these three aspects like SQ, EQ, and IQ. That will unlock full potential, increase personal fulfillment, and it will result in high performance. And this is what the social competency or social awareness. God has created trees. God has created lungs also. And there is a relationship between this and this. Trees and lungs are both model by fractal geometry for their continued branching. No, trees produce atmosphere as atmospheric oxygen by pulling oxygen atoms from carbon dioxide molecules that they absorb. The reverse is happening here. We absorb oxygen and in return we give carbon dioxide. So each are interdependent, interrelated, and interacting. When one is not there, the other one cannot exist. So allow nature to live if you want to live. That is the eco-friendly concept. How to develop emotional intelligence? There is nice patterns in your emotional intelligence. Practice it. Be open-minded. Improve your empathy skill. Read the language. Body language is gestures. Okay. See the effect on you. See the effect you have on others. Practice being more emotionally honest. Take home. Emotions are essential. Experienced by brain areas. It is being experienced by the brain areas. Expression is universal. And very, very important is your empathy. Empathy is essential for being emotionally intelligent. Thank you. And I welcome questions. And meanwhile, I would like to say that I am also a trainer in this DCP course. I will be dealing with two subjects in the first semester and one subject in the second semester. First subject with the family, the importance of family, its relationship, marital relationship, the do's, the don'ts, to how to strengthen your marital life, all those things I'll be dealing. And then guidance and counseling paper I'll be dealing with. For the second semester, I'll be dealing with the mental health and well-being of the people. Okay. So I will meet you every now and then in your regular classes also. Thank you. And if you have any questions or if you need any clarification, I welcome. Your feedbacks also. I look forward for your feedbacks. Any questions? You can raise your hands. No questions?
Hi,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, this is Sajjupnisha here.
Yeah.
So, I'm already facing anxiety issue. So, is it okay to attend this ecological classes?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
First
will
thing,
it be helpful for me
whatever
to
we
recover
are
from this problem?
experiencing, we should understand the reason for it, what it is, the why, how, everything you should understand. No, for getting a clear, for clear idea, for getting
Okay.
clarification. If you
Okay.
attend classes like this, it will be of great help, both for personal development and for you can help your family members or your friends, whoever is undergoing such emotional disturbances. It will be of great help,
Oh,
certainly.
will it be helpful for my spiritual experience
Sure,
also?
sure, sure. See, before going in for emotional intelligence or for general intelligence, your spiritual quotient, if it is, if you improve it, the other things will naturally come to you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you so much. And
Okay.
your session was really great. And we understood many things. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Maybe for the first class, many of the terms will be new to you. In a
Yes, ma'am.
psychologically, when I describe, you may not understand it fully well, but as days go by, you can understand it more
Yeah,
clearly.
yeah, sure, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank
Okay.
you.
Next. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible only, ma'am.
Okay. Somebody raised their hand. Couldn't unmute them. Any more questions? If everything is very clear, I can close the class. Any questions? What is the meaning for your silence? Can anyone give the feedback? Okay, that means what I could understand, I can close the class.
I think, ma'am, everyone's giving the feedback through chat.
Okay, okay, okay.
Anyway, thanks for your valuable time, ma'am.
Thank you.
We hope participants will find this message well. And we wanted to extend our sincere thanks for the outstanding training session today. Your insights and expertise were incredibly valuable, and we feel more confident. The interactive approach and engaging content made the session both informative and enjoyable. Thank you again for your time and dedication, ma'am.
Kindly advise your students to interact in between. Then that will, even for me, it will not be a boredom.
Yes,
Because
yes.
keeping going on talking, it makes me tired also.
I think this is the first class. That's why they are.
Yeah, maybe this is the first class. So
Oh,
maybe they are
sure, sure, ma'am.
not very free with me. Maybe days go by, they'll be all right, I think.
Anyways, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, okay, thank you so much for the opportunity. Shall I close my?
Sure, 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 ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Thank you,
And
thank you, thank you.
participants, we have sent the information about this
E-certificate.
DCP course. You can see the message through WhatsApp. If you have any doubts about this course, you can contact us at any time. We are here there to solve the issue. And anything else is
And you can participate, you can ask your friends also, you can tell your friends also about this course, the advantages of getting a diploma certificate in counseling psychology. It is given in the prospectus also. You just tell them, and if they are, if they too want to join, they are most welcome. Ask them, ask your friends. Thank
yes,
you.
ma'am. Well said, ma'am. Yes, if you have any question about this course, you can contact us.
Thank you.
Uh,
Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome.
Rahmatullahi barakatuh. May God bless you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir,